Hello, everybody, and welcome to the results of the monthly challenge that we held on Discord last month. We got 2.5 entries for this, except mine. So we got El Samo here, and then I think it's KeyCat. Right, if I'm not mistaken, let me check again. Yes, it's KeyCat here for the Kaiju, and then we got one from Mr. Emperor of Cheese. I'm gonna launch ZBrush because that's a 3D file. I didn't launch it yet. Let's see if it loads. And yes, this is gonna be the last stream for some time, I guess, unless something goes incredibly wrong and I cannot take the plane. So hello, Chase. Hello, painful Chase. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Emperor Cheese.
All right, ZBrush is loading here. Yeah, it's a last stream for some time. I'm gonna have to. I don't think I'm gonna take the mic to Japan eventually. I do have one there, not very good, but I don't know if I can take this one as well. What's going on? Why is it not loading? So I have ZBrush open because it's there you go. Okay. New document. And then I'm gonna open the file that the Emperor of Cheese sent me, so it's gonna be a surprise for me as well. It is here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, all right. It's a tool. So, oh god. Okay. Edit. And there you go. This is the one Emperor Cheese was working on. It's some sort of flying kaiju. I'm going to change the material because I don't like it. And yes, the poly paint did come through the file. So this is really cool. I like it. Obviously, only the head is kind of finished. The rest is still to do, but we can work on this. As I said yesterday, I'm just going to butcher this thing that he made, so congratulations to Emperor Cheese. But first, let's see the other two. I don't know if they're gonna join. Maybe we can start with this since Cheese is here and he might leave, and see if in the meantime either KeyCat or El Samo will join the stream, so they can get the feedback live. Oh, there's another body. Check the subtools. Oh. Where is the body? Wait, maybe I should... Okay, that's the head. Oh! Okay. Okay, this is like a sort of turtle-ish body. Alright, that's interesting. So you added two variations to this. It's got extra fangs. That's pretty nice.
Well, he started with the bipedal version, and then he decided to change it into the bird version.
As far as I can remember, you took the biped and then turned it into the other, like you morphed it, or did you just start from scratch with the flying one? Because I watched part of it would also be very cool, like if it had wings and legs and arms. I mean, this way it's also, I would say even cooler, maybe, with the extra,
Yeah.
like having them merge together. This is actually pretty neat.
It reminds me of a gargoyle.
Yeah, it's a sort of gargoyle. It is. Duplicated it, chopped the legs, and reduced the dynamesh. Alright, yeah. I would go off of this personally, although I'm not very used to just working with different subtools that merge together. I would probably, let's see, where's what is this? Okay, this is the jaw. This is the top part. We can only there you go. That's nice. I would get rid of these and just merge them. Maybe edit the arms. Let's see what we can do. I'm not going to duplicate them because in any case he has the original. So let's go. I'm going to remove these legs and I'm going to leave... I think I'm going to leave these ones, yeah. So, where's the brush? We're going to do this, and then again, if KiCad and or Elsam will come, we can do the other. But obviously, I'm still going to do the paint over in any case after, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so, if they don't. So I was looking for the slice trim lasso. Okay, so technically I should be able to do this, except I'm using the wrong layer. It's this. Nope. Okay, this should be... What's going on? Why is it not symmetrical? Because it should be. Maybe it's the wrong axis? What's that? No, that's X. Jeez, why is it not trimming on both sides? Because it was doing it for me. I don't understand. Mirroring well? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, the opposite. So it was, where was it? Geometry. Oh wait, let me check that I turned off the heating. Hold on. I did, okay. Otherwise, it's gonna become extremely hot inside here. But let me untangle my earbuds. Okay. So, it was geometry and modified topology. Oh, there you go, ahead here. Alright, okay, that's cool. Nice. So, now we have this. I'm going to smooth it probably. Nope. How big is this thing? Look at my brush size. How just freaking big did I make it? Oh my god. Maybe I should have kept it smaller. Let me re-import it. Let me close this and actually open the other one. I made it too large. Change the draw size? Yeah, I did change the draw size, but it's 1,000. It's still very small. What if I, so if I re-import it, can I make it smaller? No, I didn't what? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, the draw size here is 1,000 now. That's pretty large compared to what I usually do. If there is a way to just change the size of all of the subtools together, I'm just going to scale it down. I think you poly painted this. What if I... Okay, those are different groups, that's why. Obviously they were the legs. Okay, I re-dynameshed it, but it's... I think it lost... Nah, it's fine. Draw, max draw size. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna need it. I will check that eventually. Unless I... You know what, let me do it now, because... Oh, it's in preferences, though. Let's draw. It's not ordered alphabetically. Oh, max brushes. There you go. I'm gonna make it 5,000, so I can make it larger. All right. Hello, Samuel. Hello. 3D again, or are you making? Yes. No. This is what Emperor of Cheese made, and we are just painting over it or sculpting over it. Since we're showing the creatures that a community made for the Kaiju challenge. Also, as I said at the beginning of the stream, this is going to be the last stream for a good while. At least a week, probably more, until I figure out a schedule for it. And if I start streaming, it's not going to be like every day, nor it's going to be consistent. So maybe I'll stream once and then not again for 2 weeks or so, depending on the adjustment time that I need. So let me take this now. I kind of like the fact that it's got 2 tails, but yes, keep it.
Hey, I'll be right back.
All right. I'm gonna leave 2 tails. Are you using the basic material? No, it's Madcap Green. It's this. Rome. I could use Madcap Gray also, but I don't like Madcap Gray. It's too shiny. Use this. Or the metal one. But I can see the poly paint, so that's good. Or where are these? There was a skin one somewhere. It was Sculpey. Nah. I basically can see the surfaces better with this. It needs some spikes, I guess. We can add some spikes. It's got some beginning of spikes there. Somewhat a beginning of a spiky feeling. So let's go to this. I know I'm gonna butcher it, so forgive me for this. I cannot make this better, but I can change it. I can change it into something else. So all right. Can I merge? Is it possible to merge the subtools? Because if we're install, copy, duplicate, insert, delete, no, because I would like them to blend. Actually, I don't think you have audio on Twitch. What, really? Let me check. Where's my Twitch? Let me check. No, I have audio on Twitch. I do. I can hear myself. So I definitely do have audio on Twitch. You're getting no sound. Check on your tab that you didn't click the fav icon. So there is like the icon, the name, and then the X. You check that you didn't disable the sound from there. Yeah, just that tab. It might be muted. Like if you click on it, you click in the wrong spot, it's gonna mute it. Took me a while to figure out. So can I merge the 2 things? Merge. Oh yeah. Merge down. Let me see. For some, save it. Drawing. What happened? Went completely white. Okay. So once it's done saving, come on. Yes, it disappeared. I want to merge down. Okay. Yes. All right. So now it's one thing, single thing. And so if I do this, oh god, not enough. Resolution of Dynamesh. Dynamesh. It's gonna be at least 512. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is enough. This is good. 512 should do it. Look, it's a crater. Yes. So now I should be able to sculpt. Okay, and this like that. I kind of like how it does there. It might enhance the plating on the legs a little bit. And I do like the 2 tails. Honestly, I don't mind. It's kind of weird, but interesting. So we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do. Yeah, maybe until 10 minutes to 6 or something like that. And what if something like that? So I want to add continue the spine here. As you will notice, the way I do things is way more messy than what Cheese did. It's okay. He won't complain. I mean, he will, but doesn't matter. I think the Twitch counter is wrong anyway. It says 1, but I'm there also, and you are there, so... Oh, you don't mind? Okay, cool. That is cool. This actually means this sort of structure here. I realize it's strange that it's got 2 tails, but I really like the idea. It's very wacky. So it was not supposed to have them, but now that it does, or it does. Either way, this was really cool. Wish you finished it, because it would have been very, very cool to see a finished version of this. Kind of reminds me of Rodin in terms of like the wings, the way they're done. You could split the tails like Ghidorah. I could add even more tails. I certainly could do that. I don't know how the wings would come out of this thing, maybe. Let's see if I add. Yeah, I wish I had more time for sculpting. I understand. I mean, I didn't almost draw at all these last days because I was busy doing all the preparations. And it kind of sucks. I don't like when I can't do things like this that I should do, because it makes me feel very non-productive and kind of sluggish. So I'll resume as soon as I can. I hate traveling, as I already stated many times. I really hate traveling. I don't know how those people that do the nomad life can do that, because I would not be able to do it.
All right, I am back.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome back.
You're talking about how much you hate traveling.
Yes. Yeah, I really don't, because I work best as a human being when I can do the things that I am supposed to do. So if I have to travel, it means that I cannot work the way I have to work, and I cannot draw the way I would like to draw. So not being in control of my time and having to go from a place to another is very unlikable for me. I really, really don't like it. So hopefully,
Well, I mean, it's different if you're going on vacation, but you're not really going on vacation. So
yeah, but I haven't been on vacation for a long time now. So every time I move nowadays, it's because I have to. Because I have to go somewhere to do something.
Right.
And so it's not that great. Obviously, if you go on vacation, you're like, okay, I'm going to take days off in any case. I'm not looking forward to just continuing to do the same things that I do at home because it's a vacation. But in this case, it's like just an interruption. It's just an interruption of my schedule and other things, habits. In this case, it's going to be very disruptive because I cannot even find the same food. So I'm going to have to change the stuff that I cook again. And so yeah, not really looking forward to it. Oh. She says, even on vacation. Oh wait, no, first. I do get, I guess you mean frustrated. When I don't draw, sculpt, or play music after a period of time, it's odd. Yeah. Even on vacation, you can draw and gather reference. Yeah, but it's not the same thing. Again, I need to be somewhat productive to be content with my days. Otherwise, I start feeling like I'm not doing anything, and that's not a good feeling. It's not something I want to experience very often. Because there are many things that I want to do, basically. So I like the idea of just being able to do it, or at least trying to do it. At least striving to achieve some sort of result. Otherwise, I just lose motivation very quickly. Hopefully, at least if my old computer still works, even without the fancy monitor, I should be able to do something better than just with the laptop. Because I think that one can stream. The laptop gets hot, but that should hopefully be able to stream something. Hopefully. Or at least make videos. So if I can't stream, I'll make videos and post them. I should be able to join the Discord though. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
In fact, no, actually I know that it can stream because I was sometimes showing Cheese stuff that I was working on or playing. So it definitely does have enough power to stream. If it still works.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the time difference is going to be the major issue for both me and Cheese.
Yeah.
If he streamed.
Yeah, I know. But that's not something I can do anything about, unfortunately. That's really the only thing I cannot change. So I will see when I can do it. But I doubt that I should probably not be able to do it, or I'm probably not going to be able to do it during the day. So if I do it in the evening, that's going to be like 3 hours before now, and that's going to be very inconvenient for you guys. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think Cheese would be able to join. I think I might be able to join. I probably won't join the voice chat though, because that would be
yeah,
very early for me.
Very early. Yeah, I'll see. If I manage to adjust my schedule so that I can do the web dev work in the evening, and I'm not too sleepy or tired, then I can stream in the morning, Japan time. So that would be good, which is evening for you and Cheese. Otherwise, definitely not. It really sucks because it's the time zone is so different that like now would be it's what, almost 2 or maybe past 2 a.m. At least now that it's winter time, because there is no time change. There's no daylight saving in Japan, so which is another issue, because it means that if I am there still there in April or end of March, and I probably will be, the time will shift of about an hour permanently until November. which is darn stupid. I don't know why they like to have the sun rising at 4 a.m. Honestly, it doesn't really make sense to me. I believe it's just a commercial thing, like because they have to interact with countries that have a different time zone, and all of them do. To keep the time the same as Korea and China, they just stayed in the wrong time zone for the normal sunrise and sunset. Because summers are pretty dark there, and like in the evening it's not very bright because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, again, at 4 a.m. it starts getting pretty bright already, which is extremely annoying. So, unfortunate stuff of an unfortunate country. Very unfortunate country. Why don't you get there first and we'll work it out after? Yeah, obviously. Just thinking about it.
It is okay to think and plan ahead, though.
Yeah, I prefer to plan ahead, or to at least have a vague idea. Obviously, it can not work. Things can go south sometimes, but at least I have a vague idea of what I want to do. So, or what's going to be available to me. I think I'm going to settle for this kind of back. It seems unpredictable, yes. Although the fact that just based on what I was doing before, I will probably have to work my day job in the morning. Just because if I need anything, like passwords or something, I need to be able to ask someone. And if someone is sleeping, that's not going to be possible. So... we'll see. We will see anyway. I kind of like how this is looking with the stripes in the back. I think it's pretty neat. I obviously will not be able to finish this, given that Cheese couldn't finish it himself. Just getting some things in, like various anatomical parts. Are you guys gonna watch the The Last of Us series on HBO?
No, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm perplexed. Probably not. I probably won't.
Maybe I'll wait until every episode is uploaded.
Yeah. I mean, later, not now for sure. I wouldn't watch it now anyway, because I don't like to wait a week for a new episode. I think it's weekly, right?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, so I generally for series I try to wait for the end of the season and then just not binge it, but watch one episode per day, I think, or one every 2 days, because I tend not to stay hooked if it's once a week. Personally, I can't follow it very well. I don't like it. So.
Well, when it's once a week and I'm watching every week, I just forget details that I would otherwise remember if I was watching it back to back.
Right. Yeah, same. So, because of that, she still has to watch Breaking Bad. Oh, I didn't like it. I know I'm one of the few, but while I really like Cranston, I just don't like the overall theme, personally. Just not my genre, I guess. This is looking neat. What if I connect these? You know, I'm also one of the few. It's not bad, but it's not as good as people hype it up to be. It's okay. I like Better Call Saul a lot better. Didn't watch that either. Are they not related? I think they are, aren't they?
Better Call Saul is a spinoff of
Right,
Breaking Bad.
right, yeah. Let me remove the head for a second. I'm gonna feel like that. It's all the same. Yeah, because it has different colors, obviously it's gonna look weird. It's a prequel about the lawyer in Breaking Bad. I like it. The characters, the story, it's different in many ways to Breaking Bad. I see. I'm gonna check it out.
How can you not like a character named Saul Goodman?
Of course. I mean, the name implies he's a good man, so he must be a good man.
Well, you have to add an "it's" in front of it. It's Saul Goodman.
It's Saul Goodman, right? Just centering the flow here. Probably gonna. Cheese, is it possible to color pick from the mesh? So, because if I add another color, obviously it's not gonna be the same. Press C. So when I'm. Oh! Okay, I get it. Alright, so let me go to standard. There you go. It's symmetrical, right? Yeah. Alright. Let's do it this way. Here. Hey, that's pretty useful. Still retaining that. Okay, not too bad there. Obviously the muscles are kind of all over the place right now, but this is actually pretty nice. I like how it looks. It does look like a kaiju a lot.
Yeah.
It's very kaiju-esque. Yeah, it has that person wearing a suit feel, that's right. So, without being too goofy.
Did you change the arms because they look better to me?
Yeah, they are larger now. I made them larger. Like I spread them out a little bit.
Because when Cheese was working on them, I pointed out that it looked like an old person holding a walker. Like, so you needed
Yeah. It did kind of look like that. I'm gonna have to learn how to define claws better. Obviously, these are just. Oh wait, back face masking. Cheese, did you want to make these into clawed feet, or with say talons sort of things? Or were they supposed to be webbed, and that's it? Yeah, I know it wasn't done. I know it wasn't done. I do know it wasn't done. I'm not sure. Okay. Whichever. Whichever. I don't know if I want to split it. Yeah, I'm probably going to split it at the bottom.
I said that they would probably look better with claws than just these being flesh, but
yeah,
it's me.
Yeah, I think so too. We're approaching, I guess. Yeah, I can do another maybe 10 minutes. I think I'm gonna have enough time then to do the others. Oops. I'm gonna do the feet a little bit. I'm probably gonna continue this on my own. Just building on top of what Cheese did, because it's a good solid base. I really like it, honestly. I don't think I could have done anything like this. I really, really like this.
And you can tell he put a lot of effort into the head.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That's what I would do as well, by the way. Because I am better at envisioning heads than I am at envisioning the other parts of the body. So it's also usually my go-to. My first go-to. A lot of effort, yes. Anyway, you have a good hand for sculpting, man. This is... Wait, I lost it. This is if we were designing a monster movie together moment. Okay, yeah. I guess. Although I'm basically overriding your choices here. I'm not good at cooperating with people. Very not good. I am tyrannical. Usually. Very tyrannical. I'm a tyrant, and not from Resident Evil. Or like Hitler. I guess.
Dang, of all the tyrants, you picked the German and not the Italian.
Of course. We would be at war if I were tyrannical. I still am, to a fair degree. I think.
He's kind of at war with Japan right now, from sounds of it.
I am. Unfortunately. And we're going to have to come to a truce if I want to survive there. Otherwise, it's going to be very complicated. Very, very complicated.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be the most fun part of the trip.
Oh, yeah. Totally. I don't know if Cheese... I think he wanted to add some... Probably... some plates here or something. Like on the arms. I'll give you Cheese that making things up as you go, sculpting feels kind of different from drawing. In the sense that you can still do it. It just feels like, well, you already have all of the possible angles, so if something doesn't work out, you'll see it. Which is very interesting, something you do not get with this drawing. And you said it's the same for you. I guess you mean that you can do both of them equally. For me, it does feel different. Not in a bad sense. So it's just different. It's not something that I usually do because I like to have a plan. So I would rather have a plan usually. It's just that by doing it three-dimensional, you get a lot of things for free that you might have not been able to envision in 2D alone.
Yeah, I mean that same mindset probably can't work when you're thinking about the angles of the shapes when you're drawing.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't need to think about that when you're sculpting because obviously it's three dimensional. So
Yeah, you get a lot of stuff for free, as I said. It's very convenient in this sense. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna add the claws here and then move to the others. But I'm gonna keep it and I will continue working on it sometimes, like every now and then. And maybe you continue as well, Cheese, if you feel like, and then we compare the results and see what kind of different choices we made. That would be interesting to see.
yeah, Cheese wouldn't have done this. He would have just stuck with the bird body and worked on it a bit more.
Yeah. Hello, Alessandro. Hello. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome back.
The final Nemo stream for a while.
Yeah. Saying it like that sounds like I'm dying or something. Hopefully not. I mean, it's possible, but hopefully not. It might happen, but I hope it doesn't. As I already said, light a candle for me. If I do, I'm gonna let you know somehow.
Yeah, Nemo's not in Japan yet. He will be soon.
Nah, tomorrow. Well, no, not tomorrow because it takes 12 hours just for one flight. So 2 days from now. But I will be flying tomorrow the whole day, so I'll be on the plane at this time. Getting bored. I hate flying. As I said a while ago, I'm not a traveling person.
I don't recommend it. You could stay up all night and then get on the plane and fall asleep.
Probably not, because I wouldn't sleep in any case. Considering I stayed awake 62 hours straight when I went to Canada and they didn't let me in, I would think that I can probably go like another 30 hours after that without sleeping. I'm probably going to die before I sleep. Or like pass out, maybe not sleep. Pass out, yes. Sleep, probably not.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. When I was in college, there was one time I stood awake all night working on papers, and I went to school the next day, and I had been like awake for I don't know 30 hours straight or something. And when I was driving back home, I almost fell asleep on the wheel. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it is dangerous. It is dangerous.
That was totally my fault, but that's kind of how it was in college, especially when you had deadlines to meet.
Yeah, I heard that. Not very nice. Not very nice. I heard, especially medical students, like medicine students, they have to do bouts of tens of hours just studying without even taking breaks because they got so much stuff to memorize. They can kill you. Like literally, they can probably kill you. So.
Ironically, very unhealthy for a medical student.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here. I like it. Let me save. We're gonna have a look at the others now. Stream in the plane. How? Without internet? Unless I want to pay $10 per megabyte, probably not. So we got some decent result here compared to what we had before. Again, thanks to Cheese for submitting this awesome kaiju. Really like it. It's very kaiju looking. Very, very kaiju looking. So props to you. Okay, so I'm gonna close this No, I saved it. And let's see KiCats first. KiCats, because it's the first one I have here. I like it. I like it, actually. It's very interesting. What is this, by the way? Strange cat emoji. Oh, maybe because it's KiCat. I guess it's him. KiCat. Is it a key? Is it a small key? KiCat. We should give it a name. You mean to the previous one, right? I don't know. I'm bad at. Okay, Chase is gonna do it because he's good at choosing names.
Maybe later. My brain's not all right now.
Yeah, when his brain works, mine is not. In general, so okay. So KiCat. I guess if you're watching this in the VOD, I really like this. I think the main issue I have is that it feels kind of disconnected. So the fact that you got these nice plates there, but then nothing at all to call back to it in the rest of the body. So I would personally, without being too intrusive, why not adding some plating here? What am I using here? No, not eraser. There you go.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe even like the pelvis and the upper thighs kind of area. Maybe add the plates there.
Yeah, I'm thinking where they could probably look better without being cliche. But I'm thinking, so because it's got them here on the shoulder, maybe around here. This part of the thigh would be a good spot. I'm trying to retain the shape design, which is very good, by the way. Very nice shapes here. Really like them. Maybe something like this. I don't know. I think it could be just to frame it so that it looks like it's part of the same concept. Because otherwise, they kind of look like pasted on, as if they're an afterthought. And that kind of ruins the goodness of the overall design. So I would probably do something like that, even just in a limited fashion like that. See, I think it's already a little better. Maybe with slightly different shapes than I use here. Could have, I don't know, something like that. Like, because it kind of looks like a flower right now. That was not intention. But you could do something like this. And then add the shadow there, bringing it over here as well. Probably something like that. Then, in general, I feel like you could have worked a little more on the three-dimensional aspect. Maybe like defining the muscles a little more, because like this area here feels, and this conversely, obviously, they kind of feel a little flat. The top part is great, like spot on, nothing to say about it. But I feel like this, it seems to me to be a little bit like broken, because I can't exactly tell what's going on. So it's like it comes here and then it snaps, and then you got it's the proto fin sort of thing. Yeah. What do you think, Chase?
About the legs or about the general?
Yeah, in general. Yeah, in general.
I mean, I have a couple of nitpicks. Like, one thing that confuses me a little bit is the mouth, specifically the tongue. I'm not really sure where it ends in the mouth when you look at it. Like, it might be the perspective, because is the mouth supposed to be like a shovel, or is that like the pointed end of the section that we're looking at?
Yeah, I think it's something like. Let me see another layer. I think the mouth is like a cone, basically, an open cone, and the tongue is a sort of a shovel thing, like a half cylinder inside, probably. So it's like doing this, and then the tongue is on top, and it's doing this, or this, like this is.
Yeah, I think maybe if you if you drew out a little bit more on like the side that's facing the camera, that would be more obvious to me. Because at first when I looked at it, I thought it was just like just a big jaw or something. But now that I look at it, I think it's supposed to be more like a shovel, but
Yeah.
it also looks a little thin
Yeah,
for
I
that.
would. It would probably help to add. So first, maybe bring the tongue down a little bit, something like that, and then add the other side here. Because by adding the other side, you're basically where's this? Um, you're kind of defining the third dimension, right? Because it's the way it is originally, it kind of creates a bit of a tangent, and so it flattens out completely. Because this tongue seems like it's part of the mouth, but it's not, because on the other side it's clearly a different plane. So probably doing this, just closing it, maybe not here. Like you could, you can bring it like. Okay, given that this is too, so probably bring it up at this point. So you bring it up here, so that it's similar to the other side, and I think it works a little better. Just to make it clear what's going on, basically. The front is still a little bit like the top, the maxilla here. Let's call it maxilla. It's still a little confusing. But overall, I think just by not creating that tangent and making it clearer what the tongue is doing, or the shape it has, the form it has, it kind of helps with the feeling you wanted to convey. You should probably roll up a little more than I have it. Something like this, I guess. So before going on the legs, I actually wanted to mention the eyes. Oh, by the way, Chase, since I interrupted you, what were your other points?
No, I mean, I think you kind of got the first one right in terms of the armor and the fur. There's just I mean, I really like the way that the armor and the fur integrated together in the front, but yeah, it does feel like it does feel like the head is a little tacked on compared to the body. Yeah, and I would have liked to see more of those elements.
Could have even continued these. Like you split the fur in the middle. This is just design wise. You split the fur in the middle, but you leave some on the other side. So you still see the armor here, and maybe you get part of it on the tail as well. Maybe it would have helped a little bit. I don't know, just not to have it so pasted on. And then what I wanted to say was the eyes. I would ideally not make them all the same size, like exactly the same size, because there's 6 shapes that are very, very similar. And while I understand that you want to create a center of interest there, because it's the face, I would still probably try to have them change in size. And if I, okay, and also if I desaturate it, you can see it's pretty much the same value here. So I would change the value and change them up in size. Ideally, this is pretty light, so we can take the same color and just go darker, probably. Let's try something like this. This is a problem I also have, by the way. The fact that on one side of a monster face, usually, it feels just straight. That's how it feels to me here. So it doesn't feel like it's doing something, especially if you leave the eyes like that. It's just a box. And while that's okay, if that's your intention, that's fine. To make it a little more believable, you would probably have to add some surface change. So let's like if I draw it out now, let's pretend it's something like this. It's just not much. But then you can have one eye here. 6 might be even a little too much for this. Maybe 3 is better. Something like that. You change. You take the previous color. And I wouldn't leave it like that though. I think red would be a better choice here, or like a reddish brown. for the eyes to make him stand out.
Yeah, I agree, because I think the original eyes, they didn't give them much of contrast to the armor
Yeah.
plating. They were a little too similar in color.
Something like that. But making sure that they do feel at least like there is something here. Maybe, I don't know, it's a shadow. Maybe it's another shadow here. Making sure that you get that plane variation, whether it's with texture or whatnot, so that it doesn't feel so flat. Again, I have the same problem. I tend to, probably because of my background, I tend to not define very realistic or animalistic shapes. It kind of looks like a puppy this way, though, I have to admit. So probably not such a big...
The original looked kind of friendly too. I mean, my issue with the eyes with the original was probably the same as yours, which is like they felt very symmetrical. Like it was just 3 in a row on each side, and it just felt a little too organized to me for the design.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel natural.
Okay, we can do something like this, then this color is fine. Maybe something like this, a little better. And then, as I was saying before, I would totally try to do something for the arms or forelegs, front legs. I'm trying to think about what I could do here. Because I'm assuming you wanted to make them look like sort of fins, because they have the typical shape of a fin. Like this is a fin, basically. Let's see. I would have probably... So first, maybe define a corner for a sort of an elbow. It could be up here as well, by the way. Like where you have it here. Some sort of corner. Then you got 2 junctions, and you can add the third. So maybe once you get here, you add something rolling, so that it shows that it's actually bent. It's like a turtle, pretty much. And then here you can add the whatever you want to add, the fingers, proto fingers. And this way, I feel like it might be a little more consistent. Probably not that much though.
Yeah, I'm actually a big fan of the splayed arms that almost look kind of broken. That feels like a very kaiju design to me. Like if somebody were in the suit, that's probably how they would design the arms for them to walk around.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of it, but I think it could be defined a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, it looks very cool. In fact, that's why I'm keeping it. I don't think it's a problematic part of the design like the eyes could have been. It's just that it lacks... I feel like it lacks a bit of that volume that makes you feel like, okay, this is a thing that's receding first. It's like doing... It's doing this. Let's make it more clear. So it's doing... doing like probably something like this, and this is the top, then it's doing this, then we have another cylinder that comes over to us, and then it's splaying out here, so something like that, 3-dimensionally.
Yeah. Another issue I had with the original design in terms of the legs is the digits on the arms. I just feel like they're off in terms of the camera perspective.
Yeah.
So I think the way you're defining it is a little bit better.
They should somewhat look like they're part of the same space. And I know that KiCad is very good at doing this because I've seen his figures. So he knows how to draw 3-dimensional things. It's just that it's a difficult angle, probably. I am having trouble myself, in fact. It takes a while to figure this out. So just taking more time to work on these fundamental things when you're designing. So like, okay, this creature is going in this direction now, or this limb. Now, how can I make it look like it's part of the same space? Maybe something like this. I don't know. This is just an example. Could have been done better, obviously, with more time and care. But and the other thing is that you should probably, to make it more consistent, probably make the back legs a little fatter or bigger, because they're cool. I mean, they can be wolf legs or dog legs, but this is the way you have it. First, it's like coming facing us directly, which means it would have to be splaying out the legs a lot, like spreading on the, what's it called, frontal plane or sagittal plane? Well, either way, either of the two. And I feel like in this pose, because the body is doing this, the legs would they could do that, but maybe they would have to be a little less spread out. So a little thicker, and then maybe you can have the knee like here. And so you can have a part of the hind leg here, because the anatomy of the hind leg is like, this is the knee, this is the knee, and then it goes back. So foreleg, lower leg, I call it foreleg, like forearm, which goes back because it goes back in space like this. It goes back in space, and then you have the foot, which is this. All this thing is a foot, and it would probably need to be a little thicker than you have it. Something like this. Not much, even just what I'm doing.
I agree. I think he was going for sort of like a tripod pose, the rear, the hind legs back there. But I think the issue is the way that the toes are angled towards the camera. It would be curving at a very unnatural way towards the viewer. So I think, like, yeah, moving the toes a little bit towards the inner thigh would probably be better.
Something like that.
Like what you're doing now. That looks good.
Yeah, something like that. Obviously, this is a sketch and it would need to be redefined, but something like that. So this is facing us. This one is facing us. This finger is facing us. But the others are not, and there's another extra one here just for injecting some in like real animal anatomy. Probably another finger here. It could be on the other side. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can just look up an animal and decide what kind of foot you want this to have. Probably a little thicker here. I don't know, something like that. I feel like it feels a little more integrated. And then lastly, and then we're gonna move to the other one. You got, considering this is larger, so you got something like this for the perspective. I feel like that foot is a little off there. Okay, maybe you just want it to be in the front, like compared to that. But I feel like it's confusing. I'm not sure how I would go about fixing it right now. Let's see. Because you have to consider if this is the overall... Okay, so you got a scapula here, probably. Something like this. So bone, bones here. Rib cage here. So it's doing this. And so on this side, you go around, and then with this perspective, we're probably like more or less here. Maybe a little higher like this with the eye level. So these are probably at the same height, which means that this is just slightly below that. So you would have to do something like this on the other side. And then go back here, maybe something like this, and then come forward. Something like that. Probably. I am thinking. So if I were to do this on top, I would probably just move this here. Something like that maybe feels a little better. If you want to leave the silhouette alone, at least show that they are kind of the same level. Let's see. I might have made it a little too low. Oh, that's a little low actually. It kind of feels better though to me. It's if it's a little more in the front. Oops. Oh, no, wrong. This. If it's a little. So if this is going backwards pretty much from here, this is going back. This would be like from attaching from here would be like right here, going down and then front. So you probably wouldn't even see it. You would see like a corner of it. You can bring it back a little bit. Maybe let's see if I can just maybe this way. I'm not convinced. Now there's something wrong with this. I think it's the middle line. The middle line is probably the most problematic fender here. It would need to go like if this goes here. So maybe do some, come on, do something more like this, because that doesn't feel quite in the center. That is either. Maybe something like this would be a little better. And the other side, I'm having a hard time figuring out the other side here. Probably. You could even, I mean, you could have another angle to make it easier to represent. Because this way, because you have this arm here, it's kind of hard to gauge where this would go. Yeah, probably not there, because it technically should be like here. Just in the back. It doesn't feel good like here. If I put it here. I don't know. I have to admit, I'm not sure how I would go about fixing this, given this angle here. Maybe just introduce something like that. Okay, maybe like that on that side. Equally, okay, maybe a little higher in that. Nah, looks a little more like forward. Something like this probably, but I would have to think about it. I have to admit I'm a bit confused by the position in general, so probably, yeah, do something like that. Something like that, probably. Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad, but it would need revision. So anyway, that's it for KiCad. Thank you for your monster. Let's check El Samu. Did you want to say anything else, Chase, before closing that?
No. I'm glad you addressed the back leg, because that was another thing that bothered me, as I felt like it was too low in terms of the body.
Yeah.
Really good submission.
Yes. So El Samu, very cool. It's like a fire Spino in a cave. Very nice. Design-wise, I would say it feels a little less as a kaiju and more of a fantasy dinosaur to me. While it's very cool, I like it a lot. When I think about kaiju, I think more like something wilder. So something that has to strike me for not being a dinosaur with an element or something like that. But it's still very cool. I like it a lot. What do you want to say about this, Chase, while I start tearing this apart?
No, I agree. I think Cheese mentioned it earlier. The big thing about kaiju is like you want to think of a man in a suit kind of idea, and so you kind of need to think of the physiology of the creature in that way. And it would be like difficult to think of a person in a suit with like wearing a Spinosaurus.
Yeah,
like the general structure. That's why.
Yeah. And then, apart from that, I would really, given also the other drawings you've been posting, I I would encourage you to kind of break away from poses that are just front or side, because that way you cannot ever develop a sense of three-dimensionality. So in this case here, it's sideways, so it's very hard to, well, first, it's not really used in illustration, because you're never going to see an illustration that's where the creature is sideways and there's nothing else. So to create volume, I see you trying to do this here. It's like the lake, the lava lake here, I guess it's lava, is one plane, and then the Spino, and then the rocks, I guess the stalagmites here are, well, they look like they're in front, but I guess they're in the back. And then you got the back of the cave, which is cool. It's a cool environment. But it kind of, while I can see what you're doing, it kind of feels like it's a series of cardboard things that are stacked on top of each other, rather than something that comes towards us. So for this, I'm gonna leave the Spino, because it's Spino, it's very cool. I would ideally have left something for the legs, because there is not much left. Now, I'm pretty sure you drew the whole thing, because I remember seeing it. So it's a bit of a waste that you're not showing all of the creature, because there are so many things that compete with it. So let's, while I do this, feel free to add any relevant information or point, Chase, if you want.
Yeah, I mean, like the stalactites on the ceiling, I was a little bit thrown off by this, because I, like Nemo, I kind of thought they were in the foreground. So I thought it was going for almost like a pseudo 3D perspective on it, where like the stuff on the ceiling, the stalactites, is like in the foreground, and then you have the lava, and like Nemo was saying, almost like a cardboard perspective when you're putting things, like layering them to give it a pseudo 3D dimension. But then I saw that some of the stalactites were like behind the fiery fin, and then there's another behind the head. So I was very confused in terms of the positions. Like, I think, again, it's probably the angle that you're drawing this, because we're seeing this from the side, like Nemo is saying, and it doesn't really capture the three dimensions well. As in, like, it doesn't really delineate or differentiate what's supposed to be in the foreground, what's supposed to be in the background. I think some of it does, but then other elements kind of contradict that. So being able to define that more would give me a better idea of what's happening in the image.
Yeah, like even if you turn it just a little bit like this, not much. Obviously, it's just a generic paint over here. But even if you just turn it a little bit, not even the whole body, just the head a little bit, maybe show a bit of the front of the chest here. And then ideally reduce the composition so that it's in a third. Something like that, probably. And then you start introducing perspective. So the lake is not the whole thing. Maybe it's in a puddle of lava or something like that. So it's like, it's coming out of it or something. So it's like part of the body is submerged. And I realize I'm doing the Spino like the Jurassic Park one. You don't have to do that, obviously. It's just because I'm used to doing that. You can really add a lot more by just turning it like really like 10, 20 degrees, not even that, 10, 15 probably. And then you can have stalagmites and stalactites, whatever you want. I always confuse them. Both above and in the front, but that's going to be another level, obviously, with color. I would just focus on getting a better three-dimensional read before you jump into the whole color thing, or before you start worrying about it. Like, just keep using whatever you want to use for now. So that's fine. The color you use here is fine for what you're doing. I would just take a step back on the drawing and focus a little more on the dimensionality of it, pretty much. And then when you get that, then you can start tweaking the color and say, okay, well, I'm going to add atmospheric perspective. I'm going to add a specific color harmony. but that's very advanced. So overall, I think the first thing you should worry about is really just figuring out a way to make your compositions look a little more three-dimensional. I know it's hard, but if you check out the videos, like the streams that I did a couple days ago with the basic 3D exercises, those are going to help a lot, like a lot. So just do them every day as a warm-up, and in no time you'll see that you will develop a different feel for what is the third dimension, because ultimately that's what we're doing here. It's we're trying to represent three-dimensional things on a two-dimensional surface, and that's not easy at all. So I think something like this, it's pretty much the same. It didn't change much. Again, I apologize for the spinal looking a little too JP3, but it's just to show you what I mean. So just turn it ever so slightly, have it face the camera. It's not even a third. I mean, it's a little beyond the third. You could even trim it. You could trim it probably a little more than that. But it's a starting point. It's a starting point. Something I think you could work on. I'm going to save these. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to save the PSDs and post them or send them to you if they're not too heavy, so that you can take a look. And that's I think that's what I wanted to say about this. Do you have anything else you want to say, Chase?
Yeah, I mean, like to echo what Nemo was saying with the 3 dimensions and also with the fire earlier, the thing that kind of confused me is the fire is like around the arm and where the legs presumably are, because I'm assuming that's not part of the body. But when you have the fire that's part of the spine, at first I wondered if the fire was like jetting out of the arm and the foreground there. And I feel like if you made it into 3 dimensions, you could define those attributes better, because right now I couldn't tell if the fire was coming out of the lake it was around, or if the fire was supposed to be some sort of like, I don't know, fin on the elbow kind of design, flashing out or something.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be defined a little bit better, but the fact that you have it on the side as a view, it makes those elements a little hard to differentiate, because I mean the spine is fire, so why couldn't other elements be fire
Right.
too?
And also, just technique wise, I would just stick to round brushes, like the simple round brush. I know it's lame, but it's gonna help immensely. Like if you notice, I mostly just use the round brush because it's very versatile. So you're using a lot of texture here. Like this makes the rocks look strange, like they're crumbling or they're soft, because it's like if you squint, it's basically creating a soft edge here. This whole thing is a soft edge. This is a soft edge, so they look like fluffy clouds rather than rocks, which are hard. Like the rocks, you could even take a lasso tool and fill it, maybe here, like you do this, and this is gonna be a better rock because it's gonna be hard. See, it has to stand out. Obviously, color-wise, that you can add reflection and whatnot. But the rock, see, needs to be hard. So I highly recommend using the round brush. This is not round, it's triangular, but it's the same thing. It's just a tip. It doesn't have any texture applied to it. Because texture is just basically the last thing you want to add. The very last thing. So that's my critique for you here. And we reached the end of this scary last stream. Okay, everybody. So since I'm not dying, hopefully, I'm going to resume streaming at some point. I'm going to thank you for now for following along these months. I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated on the community tab on YouTube and in the Discord about the schedule for the next few months. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I hope you enjoyed the streams so far. Thank you to Alessandro, to Emperor of Cheese, for joining today, and obviously Chase for his invaluable. Oh, and Samuel as well for his invaluable help. I mean, chases and valuable help, obviously. Okay, I guess let's close here, and we'll be back at some point. Not sure when, but wish me good luck and take care.